What's up, YouTubers? Today we're going to be talking about how the hell you work remotely. Today I'm in San Antonio, Texas, the Hyatt, and we're going to walk around a little bit and talk about this issue. Let's get started. So one of the most important parts about working on the road is routine. You've got to stay consistent. If you have a habit of working in the morning, keep doing it. You've got to notch out the time you need to do it. That kind of goes without saying, but I want to make a point to say that. The next thing I'd say to do is take some space out and take some time to actually do some sightseeing, because there's nothing like new space and new atmospheres and new environments to inspire you into melodies and doing creative work that you never thought you would do before. Lastly, I want to talk about instruments. I want to talk about equipment, what to bring on the road. There are small travel guitars, but what I would recommend is actually a ukulele. You can get them for pretty cheap, and the chords on them are extremely easy to learn. And if you want to produce, let me show you a setup that I use. Let's get back to my hotel room. All right, here we are. This is my studio setup. Pretty basic, not terribly complicated. Over here on the right, I've got my headphones. This is the made by Shure. They've got a really nice flat response. This is the Shure SRH 940s. And they're absolutely excellent for mixing on the road. This is a MacBook Pro. Sorry about the focus. I'm running Ableton Live almost on everything I do. Sometimes I'll use GarageBand for certain things, but not very often. It's usually always Ableton Live. Of course, I've got my external hard drive over here. This is a 4 terabyte hard drive I just got from Costco. It was very cheap. It was like 130 bucks. And I'm running all my samples off of that, and I usually store and archive all my sessions off of that because I want my hard drive on my computer to be very clean. I don't want it to be gunked up with a lot of different sounds and samples. And the MIDI controller I use is called the X Key. This is kind of a newer controller. I really dig it. And it doesn't have your like a modulation wheel or pitch wheel on the side, but you can control the modulation just through pushing this button, how hard you push the button, and the pitch is actually controlled through these two buttons here. And then you can just quickly jump through octaves. It's not as probably amazing as some of the controllers, but I like it because of its slim design. It's very thin without sacrificing velocity in the key responses. So there you go. That is my studio setup in the hotel. The only other thing I might recommend is if you wanted to, you could bring, if you didn't want to just play out of the output of your MacBook Pro, you could use a sound card or an interface, external sound card, like a anything made by Apogee or M-Audio or ProSonus. They've got a lot of great interfaces for fairly good prices. I'm not doing some heavy mixing today, so what I'm doing is just production ideas. So I'm not going to probably need that for what I'm doing. The other thing is you might want to have a microphone if you wanted to record certain parts, especially if you are one of the singers or a background singer or something like that. But I'm not doing that in this setup as well, so I'm not worried about that. And lastly, you might want to have a USB splitter if you have a lot of peripherals going into your USB slot. That's it for this week. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe or hit the like button. I know some of this information was a little bit basic, but for some of you that's going to help you a lot, to get started at least. Please feel free to send me any comments or suggestions, and as always, stay frosty and keep riding. Later, guys.